we're 10 days out and just, kind of putting together all the last minute details, where we're going to have all of our sponsor tents and the layout and, just everything that comes with the last couple of weeks of any big event, just kind of, just making sure that all the volunteers are able to be there and all the safety boats are going to be there when they're supposed to, and making sure that all the Marine Patrol and all the local fishermen and jet ski guys and everything are all informed of where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. So we minimize the traffic and minimize any type of, anything that can possibly
local impact stuff.
Exactly right. And the Rookery Bay Estuary Research Reserve is going to be heavily involved. They're going to be out there. That's the little island that's under their jurisdiction and under their control. So they're really excited, and they're going to be out there with a tent. And we're utilizing 3 or 4 of their boats and our flotilla of safety boats that are going to be out there. So just kind of battening down the hatches and putting together the last minute things that any big event takes.
Well, that sounds great. Now, could you maybe walk me through it? So from the staging on where people park to the campsite, how is that going to work next week?
So what they're going to do is they're going to want to come all the way down to the southernmost portion of Marco Island. So Marco Island is probably about 16 miles off of I-75. So it really is. It's you have to travel to go to a really, really beautiful and pristine place. And this is, you're going to have to travel, but it's not like another country, although it is when you get out there. So you're going to go all the way to the southern end of Marco Island. You'll go right past the Hilton, which you'll see about a quarter of a mile on your right before you get to Quexambus Park and Marina. So it's at Quexambus Park and Marina that you want to pull in, and you want to offload all of your gear. So there's public parking there. There's not a lot. It's very, very limited. One thing about Marco Island is there's not a lot of parking. at all. So we had to actually talk to the Hilton, who's down the street, and we rented a few hundred spots from them.
Awesome.
And they're also allowed to park overnight there. So if it was me and I was planning a perfect weekend, I would get there on Friday. Take your time when you're getting there rather than rushing it on Saturday. Of course, we're going to have the shuttles there Saturday morning as well. But I would go Friday. I would drop off my stuff at Quexambus Park. I would go back to, and we'll have volunteers on site that will be telling them where to go. And then I would drive my car back to the Hilton. I would park my car at the Hilton. We'll have some shuttles that are going back and forth, a couple of, 10-person golf carts that will be taking people back from the Hilton over to Quexambus Park. Now, once they're at Quexambus, they can either jump on their boards and start paddling over. From Quexambus Park over to the northernmost point of Cape Romano, which is the island that the race is on, is only about, I'd say, a half to a quarter of a mile. It's literally a 15-minute paddle. So they can just go across the pass and jump on the island and walk on the island and hang out and take their time getting down to the main staging site. It's even the northernmost part of Quexambus, of Cape Romano, is also one of the coolest places to camp as well.
Yeah.
So we highly recommend to experience the island and experience the camping out there in a pristine environment and being part of the paddleboard communities. A lot of the sponsors are going to be out there. A lot of the board manufacturers and kind of surf support companies are going to be out there as well. And they're all excited to just bring everybody together and camp. So.
Sounds awesome. So basically, if anybody they bring all their camping gear, everything that you would normally expect from their, from their tents and sleeping bags and everything they will need as far as food and just
and there's it's primitive camping. There's no water, there's no electricity. The bugs are not bad this time of the year, so don't worry about that. In the summer, that is a concern. Bring everything you can. And if you want to paddle over, but you don't want to take your tent and your gear, we're going to have boats. So we're going to have two 40-foot pontoon boats.
Oh, that's easy.
That are taking stuff back and forth. So if you want to put all your gear on the boat and have that to take over, and then you paddle over to kind of enjoy the afternoon, that's fine. We can do that. I will say that the boats are limited, so we won't be able to. If I was somebody, I wouldn't rely on the boats. I'd get there as soon as I can and try to go ahead and paddle over whenever I could.
Yeah.
And that's on Friday. So understand this time of the year, it's going to get dark about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they actually close Caxambas Park about 5:36. So they want to get there before it's going to close, drop off the gear. Go over to the Hilton and Park. And same thing Saturday morning. Get there. I think the park opens at 7 a.m. So if it was me, I would get there at 7 a.m. if I wanted to do just a simple day trip. Mm-hmm. And same thing. I would drop off my gear. I would drive it over to the Hilton. I would park it there. And then I'd catch the shuttle back to Caxambas and then jump on a boat and head over.
Yeah, and anybody that has just like last minute decisions and that kind of stuff, are they going to be able to on Friday or Saturday kind of just show up and figure out where they can fit and that kind of stuff? I mean, it's not ideal. So, they should obviously register, but
right. And so we have a lot of people from college campuses that are really excited about it, that are going to be coming. So if you can get a ride there, spectators are welcome as well. What I would do is go on Paddle Guru. And register, even if it's on Friday or Saturday, register on Paddle Guru. That way we have you all set
system,
up.
Yeah.
Right, and then show up. And if it's just me and I don't even have a board, register anyway. We have a couple of volunteers that are in charge of distributing rental boards. Right now, there's not a charge for the boards. So we're going to have about 50 boards on the island. So I can show up, say, hey, I've registered. We'll check off your name. If you're a spectator, you can bring, you can come as well, and you can get out to the island. You can get aboard, and we can also put you with a team. We've got a couple of volunteers. That's their job. As soon as they'll have a list of like 15, 20 people,
awesome.
And they're going to put them together as a team and make sure that everybody that comes and wants to be a part of the event can be a part of the event.
Show up and match up. That's perfect. So
yep, exactly.
Then what about the? They don't need a metal detector. Nothing's going to be actually buried. So so you want to walk through the actual treasure hunt and
Absolutely. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to be getting out to the island about probably by 10:30. A lot of people obviously will be there overnight. Everybody will congregate right at a place called Blind Pass. That's where you'll see all the tents. You'll see the big Redbull wigwam. You'll see Sonny the Sunbum, 25-foot ape. There'll be music, remnants of a campfire from the night before. So everybody will be kind of huddled there. We'll have the captain's meeting. We'll go over where everything is. We're going to that's the point that we're going to hand out the maps. So the maps will be given about 10 minutes before the actual event. And then on the maps will be the kind of a map of all the mangroves and all the little islands that are going to be what's considered Cape Romano. And some of the treasure chests are going to be on the beach, and some of the treasure chests are going to be floating. So nothing's buried. And where we mark the X, it may be 10 feet away. It may be 50 feet away. Who knows? But it's going to be, you're going to have to search a little bit, and you're going to have to paddle a little bit, and you're going to have to get off your board and run a little bit on the beach. But I think once the race really gets started, when you're in a certain area, you're going to see people sprinting, and you'll see activity around the treasure chests.
That's awesome.
So I think it'll be pretty evident where it's going to be.
And then they pull all those coins back. They race back. It's within, is it 2.5 hours is the cutoff?
So the 2.5 hours is the cutoff. We'd like everybody to go. Obviously, the winning team will finish a lot earlier than that. We're actually going to have a 150-foot pirate ship that's going to be right at the entrance to Blind Pass. We're going to fire off a cannon. Everybody's going to take off in whatever directions they want to go. And it's kind of divide and conquer. It's whatever strategy you guys want to use. They can divide and say, okay, you go get these 5, I'll get these 5. And spread out, and then come back together. So we're giving Xterra was giving away backpacks and kind of packs, waist packs, or bring a camelback or something to hold the doubloons. But the doubloons are about a silver dollar size, and they're wooden. And each doubloon has each treasure chest is branded of a famous pirate. from way back in the day.
That
So
sounds awesome.
yeah, yeah. So the special chest is Calico Jack's, of course, because that's where he hid his loot way back, back in the late 1700s there in Cape Romano. So that's why it's called Redbull Privateers.
Yep.
With a theme. And also, if people want to have fun and dress up like pirates, we are going to have awards for most creative way that people got out to Cape Romano. So somebody
That's
people.
cool.
Tie 4 boards together and they all just float out there. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think that may have to be rewarded. And also, if we have a crew of pirates that dress up and dress up as pirates and paint their faces and go out, we're going to kind of almost what you would call spirit awards. So a lot of the board manufacturers, I know Live Water Sports is giving away a custom Red Bull board. I know that Surf Tech is giving away a few boards. So we're going to have a lot of really, really cool prizes for just random participants, not necessarily the winners. And we're going to have special coins that are distributed throughout the course that if people find, they can redeem them for special prizes. So it's going to be cool.
Sounds awesome. Now,
yeah.
If they wanted to have the full weekend experience, they can get there on Friday and leave on Sunday. Yep. Is that basically?
Yeah.
So they'd have 2 nights there. And,
that's correct. And we're also don't worry about bringing anything out there. We're going to have, maybe for Friday, I would bring some water and some food and snacks, although people will be barbecuing and bringing things out. We're going to have 2 food boats that will be driving along the beach. That have everything. They have water, they have beer, they have food, they have everything that they would sunscreen. So everything that you would need is out on the island.
So they're basically like food trucks on the water.
Yeah, food trucks on the water. It's exactly what we have.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And have you divided into camps, or are people just going to be picking their own sites or assigning sites? Or
so the beach it's pretty significant, right at the entrance to Blind Pass where we're starting the race. I mean, we are the Red Bull camp and the Wigwam is going to be kind of headquarters, and then I know a lot of the other sponsors want to be close to there because that's where everybody's going to be congregating. But along the island, there's probably about 4 or 5 different spots that are a couple hundred yards long and at least 50 to 60 yards from the beach to the actual tree line. So there's a lot of space. And I know some people are going to want to come and kind of have their experience where they go down towards the dome home and go about quarter of a mile south where they can have pristine camping. And they can even camp on the bay side or Morgan's Bay, so they can be away from the Gulf side, protected if there's any wind or anything like that. Or they can camp next where everybody else is. And this is one of the unique islands that we got special permission from the Rookery Bay Estuary Research Reserve to be able to, number 1, have amplified music, 2, have campfires, 3, park, and camp overnight, and also have alcohol out there if they want to. So obviously we want to bring, we want to be responsible. It's one of those situations where whatever you bring and whatever you set up, you got to take with you. Mm-hmm. I think the best resource for everything is going to be not only Paddle Guru where you're going to sign up, but also the Facebook, Red Bull Privateers Facebook page as well. So there'll be maps. I think we're going to have guides for primitive camping. We do have people that are bringing firewood because you're not allowed to burn anything out on the island.
Yeah, it's not like bring a hatchet and things out.
Yeah, hack down some mangroves.
The complete opposite of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah. Exactly, it's a leave no trace event. Yeah. So there'll be shuttles going back after the event. As soon as the event is done, about 2:30, we're going to have the awards ceremony. We'll be giving out a lot of the prizes. I know that. We're having a luau right at that point where we're going to have a couple pigs that we're roasting. So everybody will have we'll have music and everybody, drinks and the luau and starting the bonfire. And so that's kind of where the Surf Tech after party starts. Then and you can hang out and camp and relax, or you can catch a boat out, back to Marco Island. And back to the Hilton and get out of there. You have to know that Casambas closes at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So once you kind of make that decision, if you want to get back to the island, you're going to have to leave 4:30. Yeah. But if you want to stay on the island, stay on the island. And there's a couple boats that, if you didn't plan on staying on Saturday night and you're having such a good time and you want to stay on Saturday night, but you don't have a boat organized, a couple of the boats that we're renting are also going to be available to take people back on Sunday as well.
Perfect. That sounds great. Yeah. Well, now, will anybody who's interested, I'll be posting the link to the site, Redbull Privateers, the Facebook page, and Paddle Guru for registration. Again, it is in 10 days, isn't it?
It's actually it's coming up fast. We've been planning this for a year.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And really working with we wanted to do it in a totally pristine location that was unlike any other. That's if done any Red Bull event, any other sports, that's kind of, we want to do something different and something really enjoyable. That's why we're really promoting the island experience. The other thing is we will be posting on the Facebook page. I think we just released the pictures of the trophies, which are just out of this world for the winning team. Yeah. The winning team is going to get, I think, like $6,000 worth of prizes and gifts and packages. So each person gets their own Xterra inflatable board. They get a Go Puck package. They're getting a Sunbum package. They're getting a ton of stuff. So it's really going to be cool. And when you see the trophies, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's really cool.
This is one of those events that is forging new ground. I mean, you're doing something that no one else is doing in a way that builds a community and adventure, and really, I mean, Live is so, their boats are so fishing oriented and recreation oriented, and boy, they're amazing. Surf Tech is just the epitome of lifestyle, and just the fact that just get out there and paddle. It looks like it's to be a phenomenal event, and to be able to camp on a pristine island, it's just as cool as you can get. And I know first years are always, it's where you start your first year. I can see this becoming one of those annual pilgrimages, for years to come, because it just looks so cool. It looks like exactly what I would want to do. Bring my family, or go with my buddies, or just show up and see what's up, because just the giant Sunbum Gorilla, for instance, is going to be like a heavy draw. So
it's going to be like I said, we've got a 150-foot pirate ship that's going to be starting
insane.
The race. Yeah. So it's we're really going all out to have a really, really fun time and create an environment. The weather is supposed to be in the mid 70s during the day and sunny, and at night it's going to cool down to mid 60s. So it's perfect. It's perfect for camping weather. Yeah. Actually, in the summer, I wouldn't want to camp out there because it's like 90 degrees and the bugs are really bad. But this is the advantage of doing it this time of the year. It's perfect camping weather. And water temps also same thing, low 70s, high 60s. So it's nice and cool. So it's going to be great.